Welcome back to Super League Supermen and my special guest this week, the Exiles captain, Danny Buderus. Danny, the time came to leave your beloved Knights. What made you sign for Leeds Rhinos? You would have been in demand. I'm sure plenty of clubs will come in for you. Why did you pick Leeds?
Yeah, the time was probably right to move on. I had 15 years there. The club was changing in a lot of ways. We brought a new coaching staff in, and they were doing things that were going to be beneficial to the club in future years. And I just thought the time to come over and experience something different is probably was the right time. And to come over to Leeds was, which is a powerhouse in the game over here. I was very privileged and lucky to be a part of this team. So my first year over here obviously didn't go the plan as much as I wanted it to with injuries and different things, but I'm very settled here. Obviously the last couple of years is going okay, and the first year probably had the opportunity to play in the grand final but was injured, and then last year we went to Wembley, and they're two big occasions that you come over here to experience. And I'm in my third year here now, and hopefully we can do something pretty good this year.
Unfortunately for you, in your last game for Newcastle, you've torn your bicep, so you've come over with an injury, which would make things, I guess, extra difficult. But you've also come over into a unique situation where they've had an established hooker, and when I read back at old interviews you did at the time, there was the number 9 jersey was given to you, and you felt sometimes, you said, a little bit awkward that the number 9 jersey had, which maybe didn't mean a lot to you but might have meant more to somebody else, was taken off a hooker, and it must have been difficult to come into that environment as well.
It was very difficult. As much as the boys have been fantastic, and just I came into the place with open arms, they were great, but the jersey thing, I didn't, I would have had my age, or whatever. I didn't really know the importance of the jersey that was your squad number over here. And Matty Diskin's been at the club and won multiple premierships with the place, and been a huge influential person in the club. And he deserved to have that jersey, if he wanted it, and as his testimonial year as well. So. It was difficult, and Disco's an 80-minute player, and I am as well. So both of us, it was a big change for us, and we had to somehow juggle that and get whatever minutes we could, and cover the other one if they're injured. So I had to change my game a bit, and be a bit more in spurts, come on the field, and might be after 20 minutes or whatever, just do what was best for the team.
How hard is that to do, Danny? Because like you say, you were an 80 minutes player, not an impact player, and next thing you find yourself sometimes on the bench and coming on for 20-minute spells.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. It's a huge adjustment, and it's a different mental approach that you have to each game. And you might sit on the bench for 20, 25 minutes and then go out and try and do what you can for the last 15 of the half, and same in the second half, and especially in these first few months when it's cold and you're sitting on the bench for a long time, it's hard to get the body going again. And but it was all part of the experience, and I came out of my comfort zone coming over here, and there are probably experiences that I'll draw on if I was to ever go in the coaching scenario, and what was right and what was wrong, and learn from that.
During that first year, we started to see the very best of Danny Buderus, but bad luck, I guess, struck again, and you picked up a broken leg in that first year, and there must have been a time when you just sat back and thought, how unlucky can one man get? Yeah,
it was tough. I came over, like you said, with my bicep, and then I did a bit of a knee scope, which 6 weeks out, and then started to get there. I started to get to where I wanted to go, and I wanted to be at, and I've broken my leg down there at Wigan, and I had to stand by and watch the boys work really hard to win that grand final, and they got their just deserves, because they work hard, and they did things really well that year. But the years that have gone past now, you've got so many of these teams that are coming up and challenging. You've got probably half a dozen, 7 or 8 teams that could win the competition this year. So Leeds are under no illusions what they have to do to get back up to the top, and there's going to be a lot of hard work, and we're a bit off at the moment.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is that people maybe don't see sometimes the mental pressure that players are under. Then that first year, you're watching the team that you've just signed for getting to the grand final at Old Trafford and win it, and you miss out on it, and you're recognised as one of the world's greatest hookers, and to sit on the sidelines, in a different country has to be difficult.
Yeah, it was. I went home at the end of that season, and just contemplated, just think, just sat back really and took 5, and just thought about the 12 months that just went past, and To be honest with you, there's things going, geez, is it the right opportunity and the right thing for me to be over there? And is it telling me something that I shouldn't be there, you know? And but through the family and people going, get back there and do what you can. And because I didn't want to have the memories of this being a failure, coming over here and looking back and saying, you know, I've wasted a couple of years. And I wanted to come back over and give it a real good crack. And you know, it's starting to get there. And the memories that I have over here and will have over here are mostly positive. And you know, like I said, I've met some great people and have been at a great club.
Year two at Leeds, we really started to see the best of Danny Buderus, working well with your big forwards. And the club went all the way to Wembley. Now, despite the result, that must have been a wonderful occasion when you look back. Again, I know the result didn't go your way, but to get to play at the new Wembley for the Leeds Rhinos in front of a packed house has got to be special for a player.
Oh mate, it was out of this world. It was. I just didn't understand the concept of that big occasion of going to Wembley. And you know, we played it the first year. I was over here and got knocked out by Saints in the first round, and then obviously the second year we've done really well and gone all the way. And you know, we were ticking off these boxes and these pitches every game, every round at the Rhinos. You know, what could be and what could happen. These just still frame pitches, and we got there. But it doesn't prepare you for you know, that whole day. And to be honest with you, I think we did things out of the ordinary that day when probably we shouldn't have done. I'd love to be back there again, or go back there again and have another crack at it and keep things a similar way. And I think everyone at the club would like to have another go at it, because after that game it was bordering on trauma in a way. I know that sounds dramatic, but you know, we went into the back end of that season where we weren't in a good place, and we did our best and we got close to get another shot at the grand final, but no, it deflated us, that Wembley experience, and that's not what we want to be remembered for. And it'd be nice to get back there somehow this year. That's
club rugby. Tomorrow night there's a special occasion when you, as you mentioned, you get to play representative rugby that maybe you thought had passed you by when you left Australia. And Brian McLennan, the coach, your old coach at Leeds and the coach of the Exiles, has chosen you as captain. Can you assure us viewers that the Australians and the New Zealanders that are going to make up this Exiles game are right up for this?
Well, you don't get an opportunity to play on a stage like this at this time of your career. And a lot of players that have come over here, a lot of people probably think, oh, you know, they're not going to play any more games like that. And you're probably thinking that along those lines yourself. So that in itself is a chance for those guys to go out on that stage and perform and prove, not people wrong, but just prove it to themselves that they're playing, you know, against a nation like England. And you know, it's going to be an exciting game, and then you've got to start somewhere with a concept like this. And I think it'll all come down to the product. If the product's good on the night, if the fans, you know, if they turn up, if they don't turn up, I think hopefully for the future, the players that get to run out in this Exiles jersey can set a bit of a benchmark to say, you know, this is what it's all about, and the future teams and the players that come over here from Australia and New Zealand aspire to play in that jersey.
Tomorrow night, Danny, can we expect an exhibition game or a game of test match intensity?
Well, with the limited preparation that the Exiles have had, you know, we're not going to go out there and bore anyone to death. It's going to be we're hopefully going to play a good style. I know we're going to play good style, and at the end of the day, you want your players that have been picked to showcase their skills. You know, we're going out there to set a benchmark for future players from Australia and New Zealand that do come across to say they want to be a part of that team. And you know, that's what we want. We get out there, and whoever comes in and represents this jersey in future years, you know, they can look back on this first game and say, this is what happened. And you know, it's a history-making game, so you want to make it one that's memorable.
You're a man, Danny, that's played for his country and captained his state on a record number of occasions. How proud will you feel leading out fellow countrymen and New Zealanders tomorrow night?
Yeah, it'll be a powerful thing. You know, the week that we've had's just been great, and you know, we've drawn on a few of the heritage of both countries during the week, and you know, obviously I'm just the lucky one that gets to run out, and along with, you know, 16 of my mates that have experienced, and hopefully going to experience a good 80 minutes and something we can, you know, tell our kids about, and to say that we played in that game.
Well, we all look forward to tomorrow night. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much for being this week's guest on Super League Supermen. Join me next week with my guest is Carl Harrison.
The whole game is probably obsessed with the Australian game, and Well, everything Australians do is not right. We've got some really good guys, some really good English coaches who worked hard to be given opportunities. I only know 2 English career coaches, Brian Noble, John Keir. And the other guys like myself, you know, Johnny Sharp, Darryl Powell, have gone to the game, and we can all coach, but why not be given a second chance? Our rugby union club's phoning me up, but none from rugby league or the game phoning me up now. I've got a lot to offer the game, and I find it quite sad that we neglect our own.
More sports news, views.